This week in our School Matters series, we are looking at mental and physical health issues in schools. And today we are focusing on kids' sports and an organization that works to remove the barriers that prevent children from participating. Only about 20% of students between ages 6 and 19 meet recommended guidelines for physical activity. And just 37% of 6 to 12-year-olds play a team sport regularly. That is despite studies showing the social, mental, and physical benefits of athletics. Jesse Palmer was an NFL quarterback for 5 seasons and is the national spokesman for Good Sports. The organization encourages and helps kids get involved in athletics. Jesse, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Nice to have you here. Great to have you here. As someone who grew up playing sports, encouraging my kids to do it, there is a lot of research out there. What is it about the benefits that we get from our kids playing sports?
Well, sports obviously has played a huge influence and factor in my life, but I think as a kid, when I look back, it really helped me develop life skills, socializing. There's the obvious benefits that we know about, physical health, but I think also emotional well-being too. There's a lot of valuable life lessons that we learn, whether it's teamwork, togetherness, sportsmanship, these sorts of things. I also felt as a young kid playing sports growing up, and I played a lot of different types of sports. When I was getting physical activity, I was able to focus more in the classroom. I believe I got better grades as a young kid because I was more active, because I was playing sports.
It didn't detract from your
benefits.
Didn't detract from your studies. I would think it would be a detraction and distraction for you.
It's certainly not, especially when I was at the elementary school level too, right? Because it's recess and physical education, PE, and those core curriculums, which we're now seeing a lot of schools across this country losing those curriculums, and it's unfortunate for a lot of children that want to play sports.
You mentioned that you played a lot of sports, and you think it's important that kids play more than one sport.
I think kids should play as many different types of sports as they can, whether it be team sports and individual sports, because I think you learn a lot of different lessons. We talked about team sports and togetherness, teamwork, but I think individual sports teach you about self-reliance, self-motivation, how you can handle the spotlight. I think there's a lot of different lessons you learn from a lot of different types of sports for kids that can afford to play, kids that are lucky enough, like I was as a young kid. And what we're seeing today, a socioeconomic divide between families who can afford to send their kids to play sports or to schools that have these types of curriculum. It is expensive.
But Jesse, what do you say about people that aren't good in sports? I have very vivid memories in elementary school when you used to choose teams.
Yes.
And I was one of the last people standing.
Picked.
And they say, we had Gayle last time, now it's your turn. Wayne said that to me.
Wayne?
Wayne. I won't say his last name in case he's still alive.
Okay.
But it's the type of thing.
We'll find him.
But it's the type of thing that when you hear that, it's so. And I wasn't good in sports. I actually wasn't. So I understood it, but it's still very painful. So what do you say about the kids that aren't very good in sports?
I think it's really important
to still do it.
PE teachers, parents, and I think coaches around the country really have to help kids and encourage kids to just want to participate and be in the game. I totally understand, and I was this way too as a young kid.
It was painful,
I was afraid of failure.
Were you?
I didn't like to lose,
Yeah,
and I didn't like to be picked last. There were some sports where I got picked last too at the playground, and I didn't like that either, but I really think it's important that these teachers, these coaches, and these parents are encouraging their kids to just participate, be in the game, because it's about them having fun.
But Jesse, you raised the socioeconomic divide that really is an issue. Just a third of kids from families earning less than $25,000 a year play a team sport. The gear is expensive.
It is.
The average, put the average cost up there. It's $600. Can be $670.
And what we're seeing is this divide where families that can't afford sports, their children are getting more active and playing more sports, and yet families who can't afford it are playing less and less. So that divide is widening. And this group I work with, Good Sports, they've done a phenomenal job identifying schools and programs around the country that are in need of apparel, they need footwear, they need equipment, and they've donated $43 million since 2003 that has positively impacted 7 million children in all 50 states. It's a very, very big thing.
Playing sports, incredibly important. The risk of injury. Do we have enough trained coaches, athletic directors that understand the risks of injury?
It's always going to be a factor, and certainly injuries are a part of sports and certain sports too. I know with football, that's become a big topic recently. The more we're learning about brain trauma, CTE, that's become a hot topic, and there are quote-unquote collision sports. So that's a big thing. You're absolutely right. The quality of equipment and also the quality of coaching, I think, goes a long, long way in protecting our kids.
All right, Jesse, always good to see you. I have a question that has nothing to do with sports, because a lot of people know you from The Bachelor.
Yeah.
So I notice you're not wearing a wedding ring. Does this mean you're available? What would you like to share about that experience?
How much time do we have left in this segment? So I'll say this very quickly.
We have a couple seconds.
I have met someone who is way out of my league, who I'm very, very in love with.
Oh.
Not married yet. I'm just fooling her every day.
What's her name? What's her name?
Her name's Emily.
Emily.
And she's
All
at
right,
home
Emily.
watching. She told me she'd be watching.
All right, thank you, Emily. Listen, guys, in the green room, Jesse took a selfie with Oprah and said, "This is going to be the highlight of my day." I go, "Well, you haven't sat with me and
Exactly.
yet."
Until 8:34.
It's going to be the highlight of my day, Oprah.
Nora,
We take-
until 8:34.
I'll take
That
second
was the
place.
highlight.
It's okay.
We'll take
Group
second
selfie
place.
before this commercial.
We'll take second place. Thank you, Jesse.
Thanks so
really.
much for having
So
me.
glad to
Thank
see
you.
you here.